Good morning, everyone. All right. I'm really excited today that we can do a little deep thinking and really gather insights from everybody. It's really helpful to have great timing for us right now to have you all in the room to talk about the future of the network and the future of the work you do in your own organizations and your own communities. So just briefly how we're going to work this session, we're going to get you up and moving to do your thinking, so hopefully that'll generate some productive thoughts. We're going to do a brief introduction about the session, leave some time for Q&A, and then we're going to move to breakout rooms, so we're going to give you 10 minutes to get there. A little fun fact, hopefully you still have your tent. There is a room name on one side of your tent, so you have all been assigned to a breakout room. And we would ask that you go to your assigned room. We'll have 60 minutes in breakouts to brainstorm and get our ideas out. And then we'll have 10 minutes to return back to this room, and we'll have a report out that Lamar is going to lead for us. We did also post a camp session to the wall if folks are interested in continuing the conversation beyond this 2-hour session. We're happy to have that, so please vote for that if you are energized after the conversation and want to continue it at lunchtime. I want to first thank Chris Kingsley at the Casey Foundation for supporting this strategic planning and really encouraging us to do so. He is a big cheerleader for NNIP and cares deeply about our future. And I also want to thank Nancy Murphy, who's here from CSR Communications, and her colleague Jennifer Hart, who have really been helping us through this. So we did start a first phase of the work. The first phase was a stakeholder discovery process. And the purpose was really to understand what the perceptions were of NNIP as contacts, as we try to articulate what our unique value proposition is, and to increase the visibility of the network and of the network's members, along with it correcting any misperceptions among stakeholders about what NNIP is or does. So they did some data collection this summer. We interviewed, or they rather interviewed 6 people from foundations and 6 people from other data-related groups and networks who had a wide range of knowledge about NNIP. Some people didn't know NNIP at all, and some people are our close friends and collaborators. And then we also had a focus group with 8 NNIP partner staff. We just want to share a couple of key takeaways from that. There is a handout that is on your tables. There should be enough copies for folks at the tables, and there's some extras floating around if you need them. It's really exciting to hear feedback from people that NNIP is trusted and highly regarded. With the caveat that maybe not broadly known and not well understood. So you can see a couple of the quotes that they got from the stakeholder interviews and the focus groups that really emphasize kind of that trusted and highly regarded nature. And the partners and stakeholders really believe that NNIP has the potential to have greater impact than we do, but we need to have a clear vision and a plan to achieve this. So that's why we're getting started on a second phase of the work. So with additional support from the Casey Foundation, we are moving forward with the second phase of work with CSR Communications, and we're going to try to tackle some of the recommendations that they made to us. The first is to take a look at different strategic crossroads. These are examples of some of the things we might be thinking about, the needs of people that you all are serving in your communities, and the problems we're solving in local communities is going to be one of the topics we want you to think about in the brainstorming session. The needs of you as members of the network, as well as thinking about how we can deepen our commitment to and for action for equity. We definitely need to craft clear, compelling messages. I think that both locally and nationally, we all sometimes struggle to communicate exactly about the value of the network and the value of what you all are doing. and we want to be able to communicate that consistently across different audiences. And then finally, to chart a sustainable, compelling strategic path for the future of the network. So that plays into the messaging, but trying to tie it all together. And Nancy and her team have really encouraged us to experiment while we're going through this process in the next 6 months or so, and think about ways we can have some quick wins while we're sorting out the longer term issues. So we're hoping by June, launching with today and starting by June, we will have developed a 3-year strategic plan that might include a refreshed vision and mission, refreshed goals, strategies, and tactics that could be outlined for us. What are some of those early wins or our priorities for the next 12 months, and any recommendations about business model or revenue sources. We also would have an implementation plan framework, how we were actually going to do all the things that we want to do in our strategic plan and to achieve our goals, and what resources we would need to do that. And then a rollout strategy where we would have our key messaging framework and have an outreach plan to touch base with key audiences we think that are not recognizing NNIP today and that should know about us. And we do want all of you to participate in the process. We're going to be getting today. We have a strategic planning committee of partners who have graciously agreed to help us take this journey. Amy Carroll Scott from Philadelphia, Lamar Gardier from New Orleans, Noah Urban from Detroit, and Katie Pritchard, who is a recent alumni from Data You Can Use in Milwaukee, will all be helping guide us, as well as the executive committee for 2023. So if you all are interested in running for the committee, you can have important influence on the strategic plan, so please do consider that. We'll also be thinking about ways we can do periodic report outs to everyone in the network and potentially have some webinars before June. And we will definitely be doing informal feedback, whether it's through office hours with Kathy and I, or reaching out to folks to hear what they think. And now I'm going to turn it over to Lamar.
Thank you, Leah and Kathy. Good morning, everybody. So what we're going to do in a second is move on to our breakout sessions. And as they mentioned, make sure to look on your tents and find the name of the room that you're supposed to be in. So what we're going to want you to do is hit the right button. What we're going to want you to do is think about this in 2 ways. First, we're going to look at the local value that your organizations bring, and we want you to think about your impact on your communities and your aspirations, right? Not so much the services and products that you produce right now and the reports and things like that, not those operational things, but really your aspirations for the community. And when you get into those sessions, you have moderators and note takers and things like that. You don't have to worry about that. Just think about the ideas, the concepts that you want to bring forward that can be impactful. For the people that are not partners, then we want you to think about how your communities could benefit from data organizations, right? Like what help could you have in your community if you had those kinds of data organizations there? And then for the second part of the breakout, you get 30 minutes for each one. For the second part of the breakout, we want you to think at the national level, right? So how does the network help folks? How can the network help you as members? How can that help to you as members work to improve things at the community level, right? So that as we've said, NNIP as a network and you as members can expand your impact, make sure that folks know what this network is and the value that it brings across the nation, and multiply that impact across the nation for bigger benefit. So at this point, I will stop talking and you all can head over to your breakout sessions. That was the second
And
question.
just a quick